catchy little beat right there. Hey, what is up, guys? Paul here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install a washdown pump in your boat. Anybody who knows that if you have an offshore boat or any kind of fishing boat in the saltwater and you're chumming bait, you're cutting up bait, you're catching fish, you're gaffing fish, blood's going to get all over your gel coat, man. And the absolute #1 thing that you got to have on your boat is a washdown pump. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys how to install a washdown pump with a through-hole fitting that you already have. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm going to start at the back of the boat, and I'm just going to show you where my through-hole fitting is that I used for the piping inside. And this particular through-hole fitting is covered by a screen, which protects it from large objects being sucked into the suction side of the live well pump. And also I'm running my washdown pump off the same line. And I'm going to show you guys how I did that in just a second. But without the screen, they look like this. Now this is just for anybody that's new to boating or don't really know what a through-hole fitting looks like. A lot of people, when they install a new washdown pump, they will drill a new hole for a through-hole fitting, but that's not necessary. I'm going to show you guys an easier way to do that. Alright guys, so first coming to the back of the boat, through the through-hole fittings, let me just lift up my little hatch here. Get back here and show you what's going on down in here. But this is a really tight space to work in. It's really aggravating, but look down in here and I'm going to show you guys where the lines come through from the outside of the boat coming inside through the through-hole fitting. I'll just change sides here. It kind of is a really tight space. So as you can see, there's the through-hole fitting there, and it is coming through the back of the boat, and there's one line there. It is feeding the live well, and it had a straight connection there with one shut-off valve. Now what I did, I went to Lowe's and I bought a T-pipe to fit and got another 3/4 inch valve to fit here, and I reduced it down to a 1/2 inch hose here with some braid in it. This is the suction side of my pump, and I just use standard hose clamps with a flathead screwdriver type setup there, and it's real easy. Okay, so I'm going to follow this suction hose around to the washdown pump. It goes under the boat, through the back corner, and bam! There it is, right there. That's the suction side. It is a 1/2 inch fitting here, and it goes all the way to, goes back and around. Let's see if we can get back that far, but there it is back there. There is my valve. There's the suction side hose going into the suction side of the washdown pump right there. And real simple. I mean, there's no need to put a through-hole fitting there, another one for your washdown pump. And you can also have your own, if you wanted to put like fresh water on your boat. Right now I'm running raw water. Raw water is just what I'm sucking outside. But you can get you a tank of fresh water. If you don't want to spray your deck down with salt water, you can get you a tank of fresh water and set it up back here by your pump, and make sure the suction side is connected to the tank, and you could discharge that through this. This is the discharge side of your pump here, and it's just going to go out to wherever your fitting is for where your washdown hose is. Now this is a it draws 8 amps, it says, max amp 17, and this is a 70 psi pump, and it does really good. It really gets a lot of pressure out, and it sprays the guts off really good. But yeah, that's it, man. I mean, that's pretty much the hardest part, is installing that T-pipe and running your suction line over to your pump. And if you want me to get into the wiring, I'll go ahead and do that. So I run the wiring up to my panel. I have a switch panel I installed, and I'm gonna go up there and show you that as well. Okay guys, so we followed the red wire out of the pump, the washdown pump, and I got it wired up right here. This is the red wire right here coming out of my pump right here, and I got that connected with a splice connector and heat shrink, and I have a 20 amp fuse right there connected to my switch right here. And let's see what size. I have a 20 amp fuse in there, which might be kind of big for that, but when I did kick the pump on, I did blow the 8 amp fuse, so I put a 20 amp fuse in there just to get it up and going, because once your pump primes up, it'll shut off on its own. It's not going to keep running. So 20 amp fuse is going to be plenty for that. And the black wire that comes off the pump, washdown pump, okay, you got the red wire going into your panel here with a inline fuse, 20 amp fuse, and then I have my black wire from the pump. It's going to be the thicker one here. It is going to my common bus bar. Actually, that is the power supply to the bus bar, or sorry, the power going back to the battery from the bus bar. But right here is my black wire coming from my washdown pump. So when I wire my pumps and my lights, I always like to have inline fuses coming off of each individual switch. Some people like to have, I have another panel wired down here like this, but that's real confusing to me, and it's underneath everything, and when I'm out on the water getting beat and tossed around, I'm not going to want to get under there and lay down and try to find the fuse that's blown. So on all my newer stuff, I installed inline fuses on each individual one, so if that component goes out, I just pull the panel out real quick, check the inline fuses, I know where they're going. But that's just me. You can do it how you want. But following the discharge line out of the hose right here, okay, I just got it going up and to the gunnel, and I got a fitting right here on my rod holder. That's where I connect the hose to the spray nozzle, and this thing reaches like 24-25 feet, which is plenty. The whole boat of mine total is 21 feet. So yeah, man, it's a good pump, 70 psi, and that's a really good way to easier way to do it, installing a washdown pump, than drilling a new through-hole fitting, or you know, trying to make another line somehow, or doing potable tanks. You know, there's all kind of ways you can do it, but you know, that's the easiest way to me. Alright guys, and just for good measure, I'm going to show you that I have my pump installed, wired correctly, and that it does work. I got it wired to this LED light bar switch, and I can hear the pump coming on back there, and it's pulling volts. Okay, so it's a pretty strong pump. It takes a lot of amps to get it going. But let me go back here and let you listen to it. Oh yeah, that baby's working. So I don't want to leave it running too long because it's a pump. You never want to leave a pump running without water. That's a good way to burn one up. So, awesome. Alright guys, so I showed you how to install a washdown pump in your boat using the through-hole fitting that you already have. The key thing is installing that T-pipe. Put a 3/4 inch valve on there or whatever size. Okay, you're going to reduce the 3/4 down to a 1/2 inch to fit the suction side of your pump. Okay, so 3/4 inch T-pipe on through-hole fitting that you already have. Make sure you have a shut-off valve so you can isolate that from your live well. Okay, and live well from your washdown pump, whatever the case may be, guys. So if you get some blood on your boat, go ahead and wash that stuff down with that washdown pump, man. Okay, don't be afraid to install one. I just showed you how to do it. Real simple. There's no reason that you should be drilling another hole in your boat, another through-hole fitting, when you can just use the one that you already have for your live well. Okay, so the 50-gallon tank, the 50-gallon live well tank that I have in the back and the 25-gallon tank I have up front will work with the washdown pump at the same time. Okay, there's no issues with having enough water to supply each one of those. Okay, it all runs fine. All your washdown pumps are going to pressure up to 70 psi and shut off anyway. So the only time it's ever going to kick on is when you're actually spraying and it loses pressure. So I'm Paul D, guys. Go ahead and put that washdown pump in your boat. Get them guts off there, man, as soon as you get them on there so you don't have to try to scrape them off later. If you like this, please like and subscribe my channel. I'm Paul D. This is a new channel. Enjoy yourselves. Get out there and go fishing. Have a good day. Thank you.